Jurgen, what can you take away from Bayern's performance in this game today?
Well, it was a little bit typical Bayern Munich for this year, because they often, when they go down, today even 2 goals down, and then they woke up. And the longer the game goes on, the more they show their quality and their drive, and then they grind things out. And that's what they did in the second half. I mean, obviously, a big bummer was for Borussia Dortmund to lose Erling Haaland there in the 60th minute around. that was an issue. But also Bayern Munich lost Boateng then with a pulled hamstring. But then maybe a key moment came with the substitution of Marco Reus. I thought that might be not the right choice right now, because Marco, at least in this game, he could hold the ball. He could kind of put other people in position and have a little bit of a threat still on the Borussia Dortmund side. But it was all Bayern Munich the second half then, and you could really count the minutes down until they will score that third goal, and that came with Goretzka, and then they finished it off with Lewandowski's third goal in this game. And that shows just the quality that they have. And these top teams in the world, the top 6 or 8 teams in the world, where Bayern Munich obviously belongs to, they have another gear, or maybe even 2 more gears towards the end of a game. Between minute 70 and minute 90, they kind of shift up another gear or 2, and then they decide the game, and that's what they did. A bit sad for Dortmund, but I think at the end of the day, well deserved for Bayern Munich.
Going back to Taylor's point, can they get away with these crazy 10 minutes at the end of a game in, say, bigger games in the Champions League later down the line?
I think they're going to learn out of that. I mean, obviously, if you talk to Manuel Neuer, he will be not happy with that trend. He wants to have a clean sheet, more often. But I think, they have the culture and the mentality that they can switch gears depending on what's on the plate. If it's now a Champions League game, and obviously the more you advance now in the Champions League, the bigger the names will get, and they will rise to the occasion. That's just their culture. That's that's their nature, and that's why I'm not so worried. But obviously, it's something to talk about on the inside of the locker room.
Bayern fans won't be too worried right now when they do look at the Bundesliga table. They are back on top. They temporarily lost top spot earlier today with Leipzig's win, and it looked as though for many stages in this game they might just be level on points at the end of it with this, but they did leapfrog back over them. As for Borussia Dortmund, they will have to settle for 6th in losing this one, and the problem for them this season, Taylor, is to ensure that top 4 is where they finish,
while also trying to manage the Champions League in the DFB Pokal, right? And so in a congested schedule, this season started, I said it on many programs here at ESPN and on our family of networks, is that you've got to manage it. And so if you have 3 injuries like you had today, all of a sudden your squad's completely depleted and you don't have the strength or the quality to compete. So it's a very difficult task. Obviously, the game against Sevilla is a massive one, and they need to take care of that after getting a great victory on the road. But you have to get into the Champions League with the quality of players. Otherwise, Kay, you're looking at a potential fire sale in order to make ends during a pandemic year when you didn't make Champions League. I think they do, but I think it's a lot closer than people think.
Well, it's in their favour right now with how it's gone in the Champions League against Sevilla. They'll be favourites in the Cup against Gladbach. But Haaland coming out, that's got to be a worry for them. You hope it's nothing too bad.
Yeah, my money's on that guy. My money's on the 20-year-old kid, where whether or not his leg fell off or not, he's going to be prepared. I feel like he'd run through a wall if it meant for Dortmund to win. So I think he'll be okay. But it does tell you, if you lose him, they've got absolutely nothing else. But same can be said for Lewandowski. Lewandowski's the first player in Bundesliga history to have 31 goals in 24 games, Kay. And with all due respect to the reserves at Bayern Munich, you're not replacing that. That's the quality of those 2 guys. But for Dortmund, they need Haaland operating on all cylinders in order to make that Champions League spot.
Jurgen, how less scary are Dortmund without Erling Haaland leading the line?
Well, they are a lot less scary. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you go to Munich and within the first 10 minutes you score 2 goals, I can tell you that the people up there in the stand, obviously, first line, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, they write this down. You don't score 2 goals at Bayern Munich in their own house. So that means, whatever now happens with Dortmund, if they do not finish up in the top 4, I tell you that there's quite a list of clubs that would like to buy this young kid. This is the danger. You know, you have to give Haaland the opportunity to play in the Champions League if you're Borussia Dortmund. If not, I can just imagine his agent, you know, knocking at the big club store and saying, you know, he wants to go to a team maybe that assures him to win titles. So hopefully Borussia Dortmund can recover from that loss and can kind of step it up and get in the top 4. Otherwise, there will be a lot of talk about Erling Haaland all over Europe.
Yeah, and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Jurgen, just so you know, tried to buy Erling Haaland at halftime of this game, so it failed.
You wouldn't be surprised with that one, but there's still quite a run ahead.
After 15 minutes.
Yeah, for 15 minutes, he said, hold on, how much?
Never mind, after 9 minutes, you could have got away with that one. But there's a run ahead for, obviously, we've just talked about Dortmund's schedule. It's the same can be said for Bayern as well. They've got quite a run ahead in themselves. You've got Bremen and Stuttgart before they actually do have to face Leipzig. And it's just become so interesting now. Jurgen, do you know what I'm actually interested to know? Is favour turning a little bit more towards Leipzig from the German fans now that they are making a name for themselves on the European stage? Or are they still more unpopular than popular?
No, I think, you know, that a lot of people look at Leipzig now over the years as a very, very good driven club. You know, I think there was years ago a bit of jealousy because obviously of their main sponsor and all those issues. Then there's a little bit in Germany, always the discussion of the 50+1 rule, you know, that only investors can have a maximum of 49% within a club. I think that all calmed down. I think they're looking at RB Leipzig as a very good club, a very good team. And now they're proving a point. They're proving it in the Bundesliga. They're proving it in the Champions League, and they're in the Cup as well. Still, I think for Borussia Dortmund now, there's a huge opportunity because obviously Bayern Munich lost surprisingly against a second division team in a German Cup. So Borussia Dortmund made it happen. They beat Mönchengladbach last week, and they're driving for the chance to win the German Cup, which is very prestigious in Germany, similar to the FA Cup in England. The final is in Berlin at the end of the season then. So I think there's a lot of respect now for RB Leipzig, and it's exciting. I mean, it's super exciting to have these teams now in a title race. It's 10 more games to go for both teams in the Bundesliga, so anything can happen.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.